Welcome to Thriver TV, the place to break free from narcissistic abuse with quantum tools and understandings. And before I get started, I just want to send love and healing to California and all the people that have been suffering in the bushfires. It's just been awful for you. So from myself and the MTE team, please know that we're thinking about you. Okay, so on to today's video, and it's an important one, as they all are, because one of the most confusing and painfully difficult things about narcissists is that when we've had enough, it's common for them to try to hoover you back into a relationship. So the expression hoover, it comes from vacuum cleaners, meaning to suck back in. And that's exactly what narcissists do. They act pathologically and in ways to get under your guard, to suck you back into relationships. But their reasons are not about reform or amends or seeing the light or because they genuinely love you. Rather, it's about retaining narcissistic supply, which is attention and connection, so that they can mine people to get the energy to emotionally survive. Hoovers can occur at any time after you try to leave the relationship or when you're trying to pull away and get away. And it can come immediately, in an hour, a day, a week, or even years down the track. And hoovering can also be done by narcissists, even if they're the one that discarded you. So it's likely to come quickly if a narcissist has not yet decided or lined up a new source of supply to jump ship onto yet. And if the hoover comes after an amount of time, it's usually because a replacement source of supply is dried up or it's just not working out. Let's get very clear that it is no compliment to be hoovered back by a narcissist, because if you do go back into a relationship, things will get so much worse. The narcissist is going to start maliciously punishing you for leaving the relationship in the first place. He or she is going to try to control you and hit you harder than before, so that next time it will be the narcissist's decision to end it. You won't be capable of doing that. That's what they're hoping for. So be very clear, if you are with a toxic person who acts narcissistically, you're in a cycle of violence, and it's a circle that just continues, meaning that there's going to be makeup periods which look like a honeymoon period and things are better, then tension builds again, then the abusive event will explode. Will there be damage and devalue and discard, either emotionally or literally, and then the makeup happens again, which is either going to be you crawling back trying to fix it, or in the case of this topic, the narcissist hoovering you back in. And these cycles don't change with narcissists. There's no resolution or growth or evolution. So what happens is the cycles just get more frequent and dramatic, and they get more violent in nature. And please understand that violence doesn't have to be physical. It can most definitely be emotional and on many other levels. So what you'll discover after reconnecting with a narcissist is that within a short amount of time, your inner being knows. It is screaming out to you, I made a mistake, this feels terrible. And you know, it's so like, and the evidence backs it up. Like, we get to see that we were right, that it is the wrong thing to do. And it's so like anyone who reconnects back with a drug or a cigarette or drinking or an addictive habit like gambling or something that's destroying them. They know when they go back and they make excuses of why they can handle it and why it's not so bad, they know it's the wrong thing to do. Yet, just like a narcissist, and just like a narcissist, it does get worse. The truth is that we did make a mistake. And until we deeply heal ourselves at our core for the reasons why we're attempting to self-medicate our traumas with abusive pastimes and people, we can feel really powerless to break out of those awful cycles. But the good news is, thank goodness, we can break and heal from these terrible self-defeating patterns. And I'm going to share with you how to get that started at the end of this video. So the most toxic and traumatic of relationships include hoovering, which can even happen daily in conversations such as text messages, where you're being gaslighted, confused, guilted, maybe dumped, and then reeled right back in again. Because narcissists, if you're traumatized and you're not self-partnered and focused on healing yourself in your body, doing that deep inner necessary work, they can play with you like a cat would have a mouse on a string. It's awful. Many people think that hoovering is pleasantries. It's just the stuff like flowers and gifts and apologies and promises. It's not just those things. It's whatever the narcissist deems is necessary to fulfill their self-serving agenda, which is to suck you back in and control you all over again. So let's go through the 8 most common methods of hoovering that I usually hear about and I've experienced myself. So number 1 is really common. It's telling you the one thing that you needed to hear. Generally, the people who get with narcissists are nice people. We like to tell people the truth and speak up and give them a chance. You know, it's almost like we're banging them over the head going, this is it, this is it, this is what I need you to do. However, until we heal and learn to stop codependently trying to fix people so that they can be healthy enough for us to be with, we may have done this ad nauseum with the narcissist over and over and over, lecturing and prescribing to them what we need from them to get it, stop it, and treat us differently. And of course the narcissist has been resisting, twisting and turning and not granting us what we need from them. So eventually, after days, weeks or months of having had enough and not getting the validation of our feelings or needs, we may walk away. We've had it. Then magically the narcissist gets it and tells us what we need to hear right on death knock. Mind you, as all good codependent fixers we are or have been, we may even have put the words into the narcissist's mouth for them about what they need to say. And somehow we believe that we've heard what we needed to and we reconnect. However, experience tells us these cycles happen repeatedly and the narcissist had no true desire or resources to change their behavior anyway. The bottom line is this: relationships that don't reflect integrity, decent values, respect boundaries, or care for another's emotions are abuse. Number 2, promises for the future. So a hoover may come from a narcissist promising to get help, make an effort, look at their stuff, align with our values, do this, do that, agree to have children, get married, whatever it is. These are carrots dangled to hold us in, thinking, okay, I'll give you a chance and I'm going to give you some time to see if you follow through with these things that you're promising. And of course these things don't happen, and the narcissist never had any intention of fully committing to what you wanted, because their life is not about that. It's about brokering the deals that are firmly in their favor only. Number 3 is appeal to your compassion and sentimentality. Virtually every person who has been with a narcissist, being mined, is a really good-hearted, giving, caring person. If a narcissist suffers some tragedy in their life, real or fabricated, it's an opportunity for them to reach out in a hoover to use your good heart as your weakness to break no contact. Sentimentality is another powerful tool, telling you things like their children or even their pet, who is very close to you, misses you terribly, as they do too. And you could be susceptible with this if you're struggling with a separation and you're feeling like you're missing them. Or if they send you a message about a memory together or a photo or something that brings back the feelings of your connection. A narcissist may start sobbing in front of you as a result of losing you, and your natural inclination might be to hold and soothe them. And this can be a really big danger. I myself had given into this hoover with toxic people more times than I can count, where the thought for my own well-being and safety went out the window whilst trying to caretake theirs. And of course, just magically forgiving them for what they've done and the reasons why I left them in the first place. A narcissist may go as far as to send you flowers, expensive gifts, give you a marriage proposal, whisk you away on a romantic weekend, whatever it takes. The narcissist may hold your hand and look you in your eyes with undying love. This type of hoover generally comes when you've meant it, that it's over, and the narcissist has got to bring out the big guns to try to win you back. In my experience and with what I viewed with so many others, if the narcissist went to these lengths to win you back, then the punishment that is coming is obscene if you reconnect. The narcissist hates having to act and behave so vulnerably, and his or her false self will demand total obedience from you, which of course can't be appeased. And as soon as you don't hold it up, you're going to be punished. Number 4 is apologies and feigning taking responsibility. It's a powerful hoover when a narcissist appears to admit that they have issues and takes responsibility, apologizes for their behavior, and says they will do anything to change. At first, because you might believe narcissists don't take responsibility for their actions and they don't apologize, or you've never seen him or her do this before, this could throw you into thinking he or she maybe isn't a narcissist after all. And you may be tempted to take it on face value, heave a sigh of relief and think, this is it, they've come to their senses. I strongly suggest not taking it at face value. Give it a push with a stick. Tell the narcissist you need evidence. You're not going to reconnect until you see progress and you can believe it. Words are no longer enough for you. We need to understand this. Words mean nothing. It's actions that tell you the truth about somebody. Hold your ground, don't reconnect, and see how genuine their statement is over time. Generally, the narcissist will unravel very quickly. You won't even need to give it time. And start telling you how terrible you are to not believe them and support them. And then there'll be all the accusations about all of your issues. And there you have it. The narcissistic 3-ring circus starts up again very quickly on a hairline trigger. The narcissist was never concerned about showing you how he or she could durably change and earn your trust again, as a decent, real, accountable person would. This was only about telling you whatever it would take to hoover you back in. Now let's look at the next level of hoovering that isn't about niceties at all. The narcissist could employ these tactics either because the niceties didn't work, or the narcissist refuses to stoop to such a vulnerable level. Possibly these levels can swap around. The narcissist may have tried all of the nasty bullying stuff first, and then when that didn't work, pulled out the niceties. Number 5 is a weird one. It's about random cryptic messages, and this could be a text, "Hi, how are you?" and you kind of look at it and you go, "What?" Or it could be some other cryptic message which contains some random statement, so random that you might even think, was this accidentally sent to me? Or it could be a completely unrelated thing that a normal person would never message you with. Maybe you've been purposefully pocket dialed by this person, all of course designed to test the water, get your head ticking, and hopefully get you to message back. Number 6 is guilt and blame, and this is the "I was going to leave you first before you left me" message, telling you all the reasons why the relationship was your fault and you were to blame and what a bad person you are. And it may be the whole typical "good riddance to bad rubbish, I don't want to do anything, I don't want anything to do with you anyway" message. And generally this comes after the narcissist has tried to unsuccessfully hoover you in another way, or knows that they've screwed up that badly that niceties are just not going to cut it for you. And if you're incensed about the narcissist taking zero responsibility and twisting it all back on you, you could be hoovered back in again. Don't fall for it. Any contact is an opportunity to suck you back in. Just don't do it. Let the narcissist think or say anything they want to. Nothing you say or do is going to make a scrap of difference. Your resolution lies directly with your self-partnering and healing between you and you. That's it. That's all you can actually do. So let's have a look at number 7, and I have a feeling that, you know, maybe these numbers aren't quite right here because I tend to do that with these episodes. But anyway, let's hope. I'm pretty tired. I've been working so hard. So hopefully this is right. Number 7. If it's not, I apologize. It's good info anyway. It doesn't matter. Number 7, threaten you. The nasty, bullying, more critical type narcissist can use threats to keep you connected or force you to go back to them. So they could say things like, I'm going to take the house and kids. I'm going to ruin your business. I'm going to ring your boss. I'm going to use this information about you to blackmail you if you try to leave. I'm going to tell everybody the truth about you, all of that stuff. And we may really give in to this fear, and we might think, oh my God, I need to buy time, or we might think that the only way we're going to save ourselves from that terrible destruction that we're just not strong enough to face is to stay or to go back. And I promise you, after having lived through this myself, that the fear doesn't stop until we heal on the inside and take our power back. If you're in a dangerous situation, it's very important that you reach out for support through your community, people you can trust, domestic violence resources, police, whatever is available to you, and try to be as calm and together as you can when you're going for those resources so that people listen to you and extend out and help you. So number 8 is abandonment. And a narcissist, after a failed Hoover attempt, might try this tactic, which is retract their desire and their effort to connect with you. So they can spin it on a dime and tell you they're leaving, they're done, and they might promptly hang up on you, stop texting, block you, exit the scene after trying to Hoover you because you're not complying. And if you're still suffering the inner terrors of being rejected and abandoned, this one could trigger you into a panic and make you want to reconnect. This used to be so big for me. It was a surefire way to suck me back in until I healed with the NARP work, those broken inner undeveloped parts of me that were very susceptible to this unhealed childhood stuff. And once I healed it, well, that doesn't work with me anymore. And maybe this one has detonated you into reconnecting to a toxic person. So the last one, number 9, making you doubt and question yourself. There is many gaslighting techniques narcissists can use in communication with you after a breakup. And you really need to look out for this one. He or she may convince you to stay in contact and that you can be friends. And maybe the narcissist will tell you they wish the best for you and they care about you. They may even say that you have their blessings and they want nothing more than for you to be happy moving forward in your life. Altruistic narcissists do this. People just think, you know, they're just going to be nasty and try and rip you to pieces. Altruistic ones can do this. This person may even offer assistance with things, which keeps you hooked in so that they can pick you up and use you for supply again. You might start to question yourself if this happens and you think, oh well, the relationship issues weren't that bad and this person is a good person and I must have got it wrong about them. Narcissists, if it is a toxic person, use these methods to reel you back in. It's not genuine at all. Be very, very clear. It's not normal after breakups to stay friends with somebody, and it's not healthy. And a normal person isn't going to want to do that. They're going to want to get their space to heal, and they're going to want to give you your space to heal. Maybe in time, you can have some sort of healthy, non-connected relationship with people who are not narcissists. But initially, there is no value, health, or growth in staying connected to anyone after a breakup, especially someone who's toxic. So don't fall for that. So all in all, we can see that there are many ways a narcissist can get under your skin and hoover you back into a relationship. And this is why absolute no contact and blocking every way a narcissist can contact you, or at the very least strict modified contact through third-party communication only if absolutely necessary, such in the case of parallel parenting, all of that's vital. Naturally, initially, we do have all sorts of traumas, hooks, and emotional enmeshments and dependencies with these people, and they're going to hit hard when we do no contact. And they can make us highly susceptible to being hoovered back in or breaking no contact. And this is exactly why we need to self-partner and meet and heal these susceptibilities, these unhealed wounds within our own inner being to get free of any hoover susceptibilities at all. Then I promise you, you will be as tempted to pick up a contact attempt as you would to nail yourself to the back of a slamming door, which in many ways would be less painful than giving into a hoover. I know a lot of you have been through repeat hoovers or are terrified about giving in if it happens to you. And this is why I'd love to help you heal and become totally hoover proof. And you can get that started today and put an end to the insanity by connecting to my 16-day free course, which includes an invitation to a healing workshop with me, a set of ebooks, and so much more. So to access these, just click the link at the top right of this video. And if you want to see more videos, make sure you like and subscribe so you get notified as soon as each new one is released. So until next time, beautiful thrivers, you know how it goes. Keep healing, keep smiling, and keep thriving because there's nothing else to do. Lots of love. Bye-bye.